Hello. Well, I believe this is part 5 of the introduction. And I appreciate everyone that has subscribed. My hair is getting messy, you guys, and I still got on my glasses. I'm trying to give my eyes a break from my contacts. I deal with dry eyes, so those contacts be like, so I know you can't see my eyeballs. But thank you for those who have subscribed. I appreciate you. And those that are watching, shame on you if you have not subscribed. But yes, leave me comments. Ask me questions. I love sharing my story when I get into my book and the other things that God has done. You guys are going to be surprised. But yeah, give me some thumbs up if you enjoy this content, and put on the bell, the notification, so you will know when I do another video. And those that have not subscribed but you're watching, subscribe. So I left off telling you that my husband were younger than me. And I didn't want to marry nobody younger or shorter. Those was my two no-nos. But he was taller, but he was 1 year younger because we graduated just 1 year apart. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't no big deal because when the Lord brought him, he brought something very good to me. I was sharing after I got saved, and that 6 months to a year before we actually got married, in the church, I was experiencing God. I was getting to know the Lord. And I wanted to say something about my shirts. I know you guys have been seeing like all of my shirts. This one, I Crave God. I travel and do mission work. I think I told you guys in other videos, all over the world. So I go to a lot of conferences. I go to a lot of places. And now I'm about to do my own merch. But I support a lot of people's merch. I've probably got like over 200 shirts. So I'm going to start telling you what shirt I have on, going forth. And if you desire it, leave a comment and I'll try to give you the information of those vendors. So anyhow, the Lord was getting me to know him. I don't know what's on my lip. The Lord was helping me to know him better as a single sister in the Lord, a babe, I call it. And I remember one experience, and I have to tell you this because it just came up. I was like, wow. Like I said, I was probably like going on 21 years old, and I worked in the mall, and I'm driving, and at this time I had a car. All the other time I was catching a bus to work. But now I'm at a mall, and I'm driving to this mall, and I get a flat tire. And I never, ever knew how to change a tire. Like, I never had to. Like, I had brothers and a father and all that. And the way the Lord helped you to get to know him better is to put you through some experiences where you had to trust him totally. So I can hear the tire, and I pulls over. And thank God I pulled over in an area where it wasn't, it was, it was like in not a community, but like I was close to the mall, so it was busy. It was like a busy area. And so I get out the car, and I'm looking at this tire, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, I don't know how to change this. And because I did not know the names of everything, like I didn't know a tire rod, I just really did not know the names of these items. Like, I'm in school trying to learn nursing names. And the Lord was like, open up your trunk. Like, he was talking to me like a 5-year-old. And I appreciate that. Like, when you get too grown for your britches, then the Lord cannot like talk to you. And he says in his word, come to me as a child. And it's so much better to come to the Lord as a child because he wants to teach us. He wants to show us things. So he began to talk to me like that, and he said, "Open up the trunk." He said, "Lift up the little piece that covers your trunk, and up under there was this little small tire." And he said, "That's what you're gonna put on." He said, "Do you see a pole? And it has like a little hook at the bottom." And I'm looking, a silver pole, like, and then I find it. And then he said, "Do you see a something that looks like a expand, something that expands up and down, like something that looks like that?" So I'm like, I don't know. It's, he was like, "It's silver and everything." So I'm like, this, like, I'm literally talking within myself, and I'm like, this, and he's like, "Yes." So I get all those three items out, okay, and they're on the concrete by the tire, and I'm thinking to myself, "Lord, let somebody come help me. Like, let a man stop." And do you not know? Usually men ride past and ask, "You need help." Nobody was in sight. Once again, nobody in sight. The Lord would not let anyone come my way because he wanted to train me to know him for myself. And it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, I love that about the Lord. And even after, my husband transitioning, you're going to hear a lot of that because the Lord took me back there, and he's amazing. So anyhow, I got all these items down, and I'm like, where do I start? Do I take these little silver things off the tire? And he said, "That pole that you have, okay, place it in there." And he said, "Because you need to take those off first while the tire is still on the concrete." Like, he's explaining to me why we're doing this. And so I put it on one of the nuts, on there. And I'm like, and I'm trying to twist it, and it wasn't happening, you guys. And he told me this. Because he always remind me, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So he told me to jump on the pole, and that, because I didn't have no strength, you guys, like, to twist that thing. And he told me, like, jump on it with my weight. And when I did it, it just said, "Carr," and it just cracked it. And I'm thinking I should take it all the way off. He said, "No, do not take it all the way off. Just untwist it to the point where it's loose." And he said, "Do that to all of them." So I went around and I did it to all of them, you guys. And I was just like, I was feeling myself. I was like, but I was still timid and I was still scared. And I can say I was real terrified of doing this. I mean, I just was like, why do I have to do this? And I'm scared, but I'm just doing it, and I'm hearing him talk to me, and it was just soothing to get instructions, even though it wasn't like a person standing on the side of me. But God is so good that he sounds like he's, right there with you, in your heart, like, it's a beautiful thing to walk with the Lord. And so I said, "Okay, Lord." And I'm like, what do I do next? And he said, "Okay, the silver spongy thing." I'm sorry, I'm explaining. I still don't know what that thing is called. I don't even know. The jack. I don't know. Is that the jack? I don't know. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But yeah, that thing. And he told me to fill up under the cart, and I should feel like a ledge or something. And I kind of like positioned it there, but it was so flat. So I'm like, well, how do that? And he said, "That pole you have, put it in there and start winding it up. And keep your hand on the spot so that as you wind it up, it will lock on that lip of your car." And I'm just like, okay, so, and once it got so far, I kept winding it and winding it, it was literally lifting the car. I could not believe it. I was just like, and when it got harder, I would just like push on it with my body, like my feet, and just keep like pushing on every time I turned it, and I would push on it. And he said, don't raise the tire that high. Now finish taking off the nuts or whatever they are, and take those off and lay them to the side. And he was giving me like really like good instructions, like don't lose them, keep them close, like sit them where they won't roll. Like I was just like, okay. And then he was like, okay, pull off the tire and now put the other tire on and twist them a little bit all the way around until they, and push the tire while you pushing one end, hold it and twist the other end. And I'm just doing this. And then he says, okay, now lower it back down, and now use the pole to now tighten them back up and jump on it so that it would be tight. And then he was just like, okay, put everything back in your car with the tire and all of that and go to work. And when I looked at the clock, my watch, it seemed like that took forever, you guys. I am not lying. And I was not late for work. I know the Lord like pushed the time back for me to give me that experience with him. And all of this was because I needed to know God for myself before I become anyone's wife. And that's what he was saying. Get caught up in me, know me, and I'm going to bring you your husband, Chalanda. And I love the Lord for that. So now this is a reverse part, and I might can only tell you one of these that happened to me. But now those was the sweetest moments in God. He was babying me. He was showing me who he was. But I was getting closer and closer to him in prayer. Now I'm being a threat to darkness. And because I'm hanging with the mothers in the church, and I'm in prayer all the time, you guys. I loved prayer, and I understand why the Lord had me in prayer, because I was going to be fighting the enemy. And when I told you I got saved, the first thing the Lord told me is that you're no longer going to be fighting naturally. You now about to start fighting spiritually. Because remember, I told y'all I used to get suspended. I used to fight in school. My brothers was in gangs. So you can go back to those videos, those earlier introductions. So I did not know like the enemy was going to be coming for me. So this was before I got that car that I just changed that tire on. And I used to catch the bus, and I would walk out of my mom's house, down the street, like straight down, and I would just keep going down this street where it's like a Walgreens and all that at, okay? And I'm walking, and I'm just like so happy in God. Like I'm just this babe in God, and I'm just so happy. And I see this man walking towards me. And it was like he was walking in slow motion, like he was taking big steps, like coming for me like that. It was crazy to see, because I was just like, what's going on? Who is he? And he's coming towards me, and I'm looking at him, and he's coming, and I started getting fearful inside. Like my heart started palpitating, and I'm just like, first thing I was thinking, run back home. And the Holy Spirit just spoke to me so quietly, and he said, don't run. I would never leave you nor forsake you, Chalanda. And I'm just like, okay. So I just kept walking towards him. He coming towards me, and everything went silent. No cars was coming. Nothing was coming. I'm going down there to catch the bus. And he's still coming to me. And then he started like, the slow motion started getting faster, and now he's stumping like this, and he's coming. And I'm just like, and I'm panicking now. And I'm just like, and I didn't know too many scriptures. Like I knew the Lord rebuke you, Satan. And I was like, the blood of Jesus, like that. And I yelled it, and he stopped. Like he stopped in his steps, and he looked at me, and it was just the evilest look. And then out of nowhere, a bus come. Out of nowhere, I'm trying to tell y'all. Out of nowhere, it was like a bus just showed up, and he didn't even like the door didn't open. He jumped in the bus, like literally jumped on the bus, and I'm watching this, and now understand visions and how visions can be so real that you would think you're like in that right now. And the prophets in the Bible had many visions. They was living in like trances and living in it right then and there. And now looking back, I'm understanding a lot of everything that has happened to me, because the place I'm in right now, I see why the enemy wanted to take me out. Like I was just a babe in the Lord, and they were already coming for me. And after he got on the bus, you guys, he looks out the window, and I'm looking at the bus, and I'm looking at him, and I'm seeing the bus come past me now. And he's on at the window saying, "I'm going to get you." And I was just like, what did I do to him? Do he know me? Like, what? Did I cross him? Like, I mean, I know I was fighting and acting a fool. Did I fight his daughter? Like, I'm like thinking this. And yeah, so that was something. But I thank God, he told me not to run because the angels was covering me. I had a protective wall around me. And I'm going to leave that there. And I thank you guys for listening to another part of my story. Like, subscribe, and hit my notifications and all of that stuff, and leave a comment. And I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.